Ani, Bonjour, Kwe, Tanzi, Scano. It's Brian and Catherine from Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario, Canada, with your Indigenous perspective on all things cartomancy and spirituality, Indigenous thinking, parapsychology, and much more. And I'm here with a reading for the 22nd to the 28th of December. And I'm playing Jenga with my boxes here. I'm a little all over the map today, so it's going to be quite the reading. And I'm not going to show you the boxes of the cards because that's just going to take forever. And I don't want this to take forever. And so consequently, we're going to be talking about solstice. We're going to be talking about the new moon that just happened, and talks with relations. So as I fumble here for my papers, I am going to try and make this as fluid, shall we say, as possible. So we're filming this on the 20th, right smack dab, almost to the minute, between the new moon on the 19th and the movement into Capricorn. We're also, tomorrow will be solstice. And so we celebrate Yule in this home, and as we get ready for the longest time of dark, we're technically in our new year. So sitting on solstice as we are, it's almost a perfect alignment. I'm doing a medicine wheel reading today, as you will see from the picture when we get to it. And, oh, I've got the wrong sheet here. So this is the technical difficulties I will have today. I'm also wearing brand new to me glasses, and it's a bit of a trick with adjusting to these glasses. My congenital atrophy of the optic nerve has increased dramatically, and so I'm struggling with this a little bit and with vision. So when you see me holding cards up like this, that's because that's what's going on. Anyway, having moved into the time yesterday of talks with relations, let's talk about that. She is the mother of nature. She is the first grandmother of the moon cycle, and she runs right through with the other grandmothers till the 13th. We are overlapped right now with becomes her vision until tomorrow. So there is time to still work with that grandmother for the year of 2025 and the perfection of who we are evolving into. However slowly or quickly, because it's not a race, it's about making us as divinely engaged and appropriate as we have chosen to be in this karmic journey that we call life. So yesterday, as I say, we moved into talks with relations, and she is the keeper of rhythm, as I said, the mother of nature, the keeper of weather and the seasons, guardian of the languages of the trees, stones, and creatures. She is the maker of relatives, keeper of Earth's needs, the mother of the planetary family, and she teaches us how to understand unspoken, the language of nature, the kinship with all of life forms, and how to enter the sacred space of others with respect, how to honor cycles, rhythms, and the changes of the seasons and weather, how to meld with the life forces and rhythms in all dimensions, learning the truths of each. She teaches us how to learn the truth. So the talking with relations aspect is not just our physical relatives that exist in this plane at this time because we're gathering with them, in our communities and whatever. It's also about our spirit ancestors and the ancestors of all things in the web of life. Hence the reason today for the medicine wheel. The spooks, and I say that term lovingly because that's what I've called them since a small child when I first began being aware. The concept of this happening so close to solstice isn't lost on me because this is a spiral, this is celebration, this is a sense of continuity. So we're moving bang, 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 one through the next grandmother. You can, as I mentioned earlier, still deal with becomes her vision by going out tonight and getting some snow or some water, if you have open water still where you are. Put it in a glass jar. I've put a little video up recently on how to do this. But start your moon water for the year. There's times when you may have to add to it, but this is the opportunity to start blessing with the water, with Nibi as we call it, the energies of nature that talks with relations would have us start working with. And so you can celebrate both grandmothers right now. Having said all that, and needing to move on, this is a very big reading. I'm going to ask Brian to go ahead and flip the camera. So, wow. All right. So here's our wheel, as it is always. And when we do a reading from the wheel, we start here in the east. I have multiple cards. So I'm actually going to start just slightly here, slightly north of that, move around the circle and use the corresponding clarifying cards where it's appropriate to do so. And as I was pulling them, the cards, I got that direction. So basically, starting in the east, we have Krampus. And Krampus in this particular deck, it's the Yule deck, is in the position of the devil in the major arcana. So it's warning us really to be aware of where we fall into old habits of overindulgence, overspending, leading from a place of emotional imbalance because we are trying to be perfect and make a perfect holiday, whatever that means for us as individuals and collectively. The speeding out to the store, the thinking we need just those extra things on the table, all of that stuff. It's about not falling into behaviors which are disruptive and cause imbalance. Old habits die hard, but Krampus is here to say what you think might be presents are not presents, and I mean that with a TS. What we need is our presence with a CE. We need to stay focused and balanced. So avoiding Krampus is interesting, and you'll see one of the cards that got pulled in the north position that's quite clever in terms of how this worked. The next card here is the Lovers, and the Lovers is another major arcana card, and it's representing falling in love with a significant other that we may be feeling a little meh about. It's because it's been a long time, or maybe feeling out of balance with that person. Maybe there are issues about dominance in the relationship. But it's finding the balance. It's also about the balance within us. We certainly can't find balance with another person if we are functioning from a place of imbalance. So it's very similar themes relating to different aspects of this Yule, Christmas, New Year journey. So this is a lovely card. The next card down here is the Nine of Gifts, which is in the material realm or the earth realm. So this is feeling pleased with what we have. That doesn't mean it is all material gifts. It's having gratitude. This woman is sitting back in her chair, very warm. She appears to have everything she needs. A beautiful bird on the mantle, which suggests taking a higher position or leading from a higher position, but recognizing that we're at the end of the cycle of this year. That's what nines are. And the culmination of being able to gift with others after the harvest season is a beautiful exchange of energy. So being grateful and not harried and rushed and stressed and overwhelmed. So it's finding balance, keeping balance, being grateful. Down here we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about holding back and waiting, looking at things from a different perspective. We all get those little bit of hip checks, as it were, every once in a while, where we have to stop and really analyze how we are doing something and how we are observing something. We need to learn from new perspectives all the time. And this season is always a big teacher of that. Look at how many movies that are made to be funny about really bad Christmases and Christmases that have so much chaos. There are epiphanies. We don't have to have chaos to have epiphanies. We just have to look at a different perspective. The Artisan of Winter Pentacles is the same as the Queen of Pentacles. And she is, like this woman, able to give. She's able to give both within the family and externally to the community. Knowing, when to hold them and when to fold them, not to overextend oneself. Hearth and home first. When you're on a plane that's going down, you got to stick the airbag on your own face before you help others. This is about knowing how to keep the balance of giving and extending oneself. The Three of Gifts is a collective giving, a giving of working together with other people to make those around us happy. And in doing that, we maintain our own happiness. It's in the giving and not the receiving. I'm not mixing the message here. We have to look after ourselves. But Spirit is saying, work with others, share the work so it is joyful for everyone around us. Moving here, excuse me, coffee time. Okay, we have the List, which in this deck is the same as the Judgment card in the Major Arcana. Amazing how many Major Arcana cards there are today. We are the judge if we are naughty and nice. Basically, we are the judge of how this is going, and we need to step in from a place of higher respect. If we are judged, and not to be reactive. That can be the Krampus aspect of some of our relations sometimes, lashing out and using old paradigms. But this is us staying balanced and out of judgment, in a sense. The next card in the West position, well, here's who's going to help us. It's the Hierophant. This is from the Ghosts of the 12 Days of Christmas. The Hierophant knows the rules of spirituality and connectedness. It's educated and it's learned. And the Hierophant connects very much with the Hanged Man. we become the Hierophant when we hang back, as it were, and change our perspective, bringing the energy or calling on the archetypal spirit of the Hierophant, bringing that into our solstice journey, Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, all of this time right up to New Year's and beyond. Moving past the Hierophant, we have Temperance. Only in this deck it's called Balance. Again, referencing balance, referencing being not run off the rails. The Santa image here, he's doing his thing, he's staying chill, he's whatever this is implying. It certainly means that to temper something is to bring aspects together, and when you temper, for example, metal or art, you raise the vibration of it, you make it stronger, more beautiful, you make it infused with alchemy. It's a spiritual alchemy to have this kind of balance. So we can call on our guides and teachers to bring us that level of balance. Moving into the North position, which is the High Spirit, we have the Champion of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. So this is running into the circle, bringing love, bringing emotional maturity, an energy that we might be feeling a little dragged out about this time of year. But we can call on this archetype or a relative in spirit or a guardian or an angel, the creator, whoever, to help us keep emotional energy, to not fall into old habits. The position, I've brought the Judith Pintar deck back out, and this card in the North position, the very North position, I was thinking should have been a tarot card, major arcana card, but it is not, and it is just a second here. It is about stillness in the West position. You can see a hand squeezing clouds and rain is coming out. We take the turmoil and we squeeze, and in the stillness, that which replenishes comes forward. They could be seen as tears, but they could also be seen as the gift of water, which is the movement of a negative emotion into something that flows to bring growth. And finally, having walked the outer part of the wheel, we are at the Elder of Swords, which is the King of Swords, the one with the intellectual maturity, the clarity of mind. It's another evolution, really, of the Hanged Man. This is the Thinker by Rodin, or, a likeness of the Thinker. And it's a wonderful, wonderful way of looking at. He's looking right down the back of Krampus's neck here. So it's about maintaining intellectual maturity and rising above, making an art out of joyfully changing how we deal with a very stressful season. So the cards that relate to the middle here are cards of additional commentary on peace and reflection. So we have in the East the moon. I asked for a message from the moon and I get the moon. So it's using our intuition, making sure, especially with solstice and the longest night, that we are connecting with our ancestors and the moon energy. It is the grandmother of the moon. It will be the last night that we have talks with, becomes her vision, and being able to connect with all those ancestors beginning in this new cycle. It's interesting that this is the last card I pulled, and one of the first cards was the wolf howling at the moon. If I go to this card, it's the Harvest of Wands, which is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is about fire and spirit, and this is about the quiet internal awareness and the intuition that's available to us from spirit and from the moon. When I go to this part of the wheel here, the south part, we have falling in love. That's interesting because the lovers are just over here. The thorns of roses rip open the heart, only for the petals to bleed into thy soul. Yeah, the balance of love sometimes is pain, but falling in love is important, not to avoid what we think might be painful. Moving to the west, we have squirrel medicine. It's a very bad joke about show us your nuts, but I won't go there. Pitter patter, plan ahead, keep silent your path's desire. No eyes or ears shall see you coming, a well-deserved reveal. So, keep your cards close to your chest and just go about your business. Interesting that the center here, I'll come to that in a minute because the center is kind of a critical card. We have the Harvest of Wands, which is the King of Wands, but we have this Kvyat card, who is the Harvest of Stones. So he's the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, King of Wands, Earth and Fire. I will speak to this middle card. I should be leaving this one for the end, but they're both flanking it, and it's so important. The middle card is the Fool, new journey. It's interesting that the grandmother over here, this elderly woman, is looking at the tree and the presents very early in the reading, and we come away with a new journey. So this tells me we are dealing with a karmic cycle. When I come to this card, this card is called the Dancers. And the Dancers are, well, I'm going to grab it and read it. It's calling down energies that are important for us. Just a minute here, I gotta get the right page. The Dancers. This is, the symbols are the Jago, the Dancers associations are the numbers 3, 6, and 9, momentum, bliss, and awakening. In Punjabi marriage rituals, the Jago, if I'm saying that correctly, ceremony is a prelude to the main events, symbolized by earthenware pot, by an earthenware pot decorated with candles. Carried atop the heads of dancers, the word Jago literally translates to awaken, as family members traditionally go from home to home in their villages. An awakening, they are awakening members in the early morning to alert them to the marriage being set. The dancers here are present to notify us of new phases in our lives and bring with them their motion, songs, and joy. This card encourages us to awaken, be blissful, and express gratitude for our many evolutions. It can also suggest momentum and very fast-paced change. All right, let's flip the camera. So that's a very long reading, and I hope for all of us that we have a pleasant holiday time, to get the rest we need to finish off this year with a sense of joy and upliftment, and to be the person that becomes her vision wishes us to be. By the time we hit the full moon on the 3rd of January, just after New Year's, that full moon is also the same day as perihelion, when Grandfather Sun joins us closest to the Earth as it can be. We'll talk about that in other videos. So from Brian and I, and O'Day, Socks, Nimke, and Jenny, and all the spooks that live here with us, we wish you the very best of the season. We thank you for helping us keep this channel afloat and for supporting us in all the ways that you do. Blessings and peace. Aho.